start streaming. I don't know if it's going to start streaming. Hello, it has. Hello. I'm waiting to see if this has something that tells me, and if anyone joins up, please type away to let me know. I don't see any other little buttons that I've got to press that'll look like I should have to start again. So fingers crossed I actually cracked it this time. So good morning, good evening, hello everybody. Today's issue 20, where we get the Chaplain. Now, I've got a Chaplain up there already, which has been primed and dry brushed. But I'm going to put this one together on camera, so it's seeable and doable, and you can see some mistakes and at least hear about mistakes and things that I did on the last one. Good morning, Christy. That's good. Yeah, no, it's really early morning for you, isn't it? Good morning. It's still morning for me, just about as well. So yes, it is issue 20 today of the Chaplain. Space Marine Chaplain on a bike. So we get his data sheet, a new scenario to play, and how to build and paint the Space Marine Chaplain is what I'm going to guess we go with today. So in this one, we also get kind of a double sprue thing. And it is monopose. There's only one way to build this. Well, I say one way to build it. You get a choice of heads. And so I may put a different head on than the one that I currently have on this guy. But yeah, it's still got to have that thing waving around in the air unless you chop it off and change it yourself. I might do, just because I've got multiple chaplains and things. So I can possibly change it out. And a nice big round base for him as well. So 2 sprues and a base. Model-wise, not bad. It's a very expensive model, this one. Actually, now that Games Workshop have increased the prices again, it's like £30 odd. It's stupid. But the issue. So it goes through the build and paint. So it is going to cover both build and paint for the Chaplain with whatever paints it's give you so far. And it needs you to use anything that you can use. It is a nice model. I've got to say, out of the newer ranges, the Phobos Librarian is probably my favorite. No. I'm glad I've got two of them. I've also got 2 of these now as well. So, woo-hoo. So it will teach us how to build it and then how to paint it, and then give us some data on the Chaplain. Now, the Chaplain is mostly, instead of being blue, this one's going to be a lot of black. It doesn't matter what army they're from, they're on a lot of black. How much stuff does that actually go through? Go through there. And we end up with... Right, okay. So let's build him first, shall we? Now, my desk is a little bit cluttered. If you was watching the other night, I'm currently in the process of building lots of little square blocks, which means 1, 2, 3 blocks are out. And yeah, my desk is full of foam core as well. So, yay, fun little projects. I'm not going to be building all the little blocks on camera, so don't worry. That's something I'll be doing off camera, just while I'm sat here. You don't have to sit there and do that tedious bit with me. So we need, not the base is what we need. We don't need the base yet. We probably won't need that until the end, in fairness. But we do need parts 1 and parts 2. I remember this now. I remember putting this one together because obviously, as I said, I've got one already. So, yeah, I remember. I don't like this. Right, where's 1 half? Because there's a load of stuff to go in and on, and yeah, I ended up with a pair of them as well. I'm not complaining. I like the model, so I'm certainly not complaining about that. Good morning, Lee. That Metcalf build looks like he's coming along, and Twisted might be right. Regarding inspiration for what I want, those Metcalfs might be close to what I'm looking for. So I may be on the lookout for that. But I won't be using them and actually build them up properly. I'll be using them mostly as fascias and things. So, yeah, I'll be using them slightly different than the model railway community will be, and they may not like it. So, I don't know if it'll advertise that I'm using it as a Metcalf. But yes, we have number one. And then number two is a silly little engine piece, if I remember correctly. Off there. Yeah, it is. It's stupid. Because, as I said, the Parasite of Martrex was the first one where we have to use glue now. We will not be getting push fit models as far as I'm aware. Oh, sorry, number two is this engine piece. We will not be getting any more push fit models as far as I'm aware throughout any of this. So if you don't have glue, again, I suggest you go out and grab some at some point. Not now, but next time you're passing the local games or next time you go in, just remember, oh yeah, I need plastic glue. Games Workshop sell one, Tamiya sell one, Revel sell one. You can get multiple different varieties of it. Some say thick, some say thin. It all amounts to the same thing. The only difference is dry time, really, in that case. The thicker stuff will stay in place a little longer and dry a little quicker. It's weird. So after cleaning these up, we then put that in. Now, which way round? Does it? I can't remember. Does it actually go all the way? I don't think it does go all the way in there because that's going to get in the way of bikes. Is that even the right way around? Right, it looks. How about I get my other model out and then I can have a look? Good morning, Beaky. Right, so I'm trying to look for a bit that's behind. Which wheel is it behind? Again, will end up being behind the front wheel. So this is barely even seen. I can't even see this. I can't actually see this bit on the model. It's behind that wheel as far as I can tell. Or behind that plate bit. It's back there somewhere. Right, aha. See, this doesn't help. This magazine is not helping. I've put one of these together already, and I've still forgotten how. Thank you, Nora. I'm even putting it on the right side. It says, get it like that. Get it like that. It's supposed to go in there. And two things are supposed to line up. Oh, right. So I'm putting it in the wrong way. It's actually that way around. It's supposed to. I'm trying to put it in either that way around or that way around, and it's not. It's sideways like that. It goes in. And it goes in like that. And then them two things are supposed to. See them two little teethy bits? They're supposed to go into two little grooves. See? And this is why we dry fit before we just start adding glue and going. Even when we built a model before, we dry fit just to make sure, because some of the models are a pain in the ass. I'm not doing it now. I'm not dry fitting first. Dry fit first. I also may have to clear the nozzle on my glue. So no, it appears to be clear. I am lucky. A tiny little bit of glue down that section, and on that where I know it's going to be. A tiny bit of glue. That's actually quite a bit of glue. That's quite a lot of glue, in fact. So I know one thing. This little piece will be staying exactly where I bloody well put it once it's finished drying. There we go. So it goes in and it'll look the half and half like that. Make sure that the 2 pegs are in. And then we come to 1B, which is get a wheel, which is number 4. Oh, no, we need to get number 3 next. And number 3 is supposed to go on. Where's number 3 and 1? That's number 3. Number 3 is the actual wheel arch. Yes, dry fit is very important with kits that you glue. Dry fitting is excellent overall because you get to actually, it helps when you're seeing how the model goes together and what you might have to do for the next bits and where other bits are going to go. And it reminds you about bits that you may or may not have to paint. Because you may be dreading painting something only to find out later on that you just cover it up completely. So it's only ever going to get hit by the primer because there's not a chance in how you can get anything but air into that section. And there's no way you can control it to be just that section. So it's going to be primer. So this is going to fit. How on earth does this fit on? That is not helpful giving me that as an instruction. Unless where's my other one? It's right in front of me. Right, no, it does actually. It glues onto the 2. See them 2 things? It glues onto them via them, and they slot into there because there's tiny little grooves on them, and these 2 little notches. Small little connection points, and having one to hand also. That's something different I'm going to have to look into, Twisted, because what I've done, I don't even think you can classify as kit bashing. It's just been removing a hand from one model and putting it on another, that type of level. I'm not yet. No chance of I going up that level at the moment. But I do have a lot of bits and other things, so I'm not ruling it out in the future, and I'm certainly not ruling it out for kit bashing and scratch building terrain. Models, they just look a lot more difficult. They'll be out a lot more difficult, let's face it. Okay, next will be a wheel one, 4 and 5. Of course, it puts number 4 there and number 5 there, and then 7 and 8 there. It couldn't have put 4 and 5 and, put them directly next to you. That would have just been stupid, wouldn't it? Well, I do have a lot of creative freedoms coming up soon regarding projects, and I'm going to have to be doing a lot of creativity and kit bashing, dry fitting, and planning before I even think about putting glue down properly. Speaking with sparkles and obviously making the entire magical world of sparkles and oak is a thing. And now I've realized it's a thing that will require planning. So I do have that to look forward to. And it's got to start from the very ground level, from the very first level upwards, because of how everything works. So if I'm going to want certain things to be done, and there you go. You line up the little divots, by the way, in there, and you end up with the back wheel. and it's going to go that side with the flat piece is going to go on the flat piece on there. It does look like a fun project, but it also looks like it's going to be an absolute. At some points, I think it's going to make me lose more hair. At other points, I think it's going to give me unbelievable joy and satisfaction. So we will see at which points it does them things. But I'm looking forward to it. I guess the first online brainstorm session is imminent, shall we say. I'm not entirely sure when. I'm not set an actual deadline for it yet. Or should I say a strict timeline for it yet, of what days and times and things it's going to be. So it might flitter about a little bit for a while, or they might get multiple streams of it just randomly. But eventually, because this is going to take a long frigging time, along with putting parts number. Well, it says part number 4 again, but it wasn't listed as part number 4. It was listed as part number 7. That's getting part number 7, part number 8, which are the other wheels, and putting them together while I'm doing this. So yeah, nothing set in stone for that at this point in time. But I am eager to start it, but I am also aware that I've got many, many, many other projects that are constantly on the bloody go. So in this case, I will probably continue with the bear on the models I'm using from this point forward until I finish the bear. The only thing that might interrupt that is get the goddamn Tyrannus done, because I do have the 2,000 point army, but I've got all the combat patrol stuff left to do. And although 99% of the combat patrol stuff is duplicates for me, there are obviously people who it's not and they're getting it for the first time, so they might want to see it. Somebody put paint on model, let's put it that way, rather than just putting it together and going, there you go, sort it out yourself. I was watching you because I wanted to know how to do this, and then I don't really want to. But then again, I also do it my own way, so I won't be following the pattern in the book, the paint guides in the book or anything like that. I'll just be painting it how I paint them, and it will be I've got to catch all these up with all of them. So I will be speed painting through them all. So once you've put parts 7 and 8 together, you get the other side of the bike and you glue them into a singular piece, but you are still missing one front fork, which is 6, which, because I was talking, I wasn't paying attention, and it told us to go back and do earlier. This is why you should also pay attention when you're doing these things. 6. Luckily, it's only the front wheel arch, and it can still go on at the moment. It's not hidden by anything. So make sure you follow the numbers and follow the guide. So each square section, complete 1B before you move on to 1C. Unlike I did, which I've probably moved on to 2.7 or to 2D or something at my point. But I'm still putting the wheel arch on now, and well, it's got room to fit, and I don't have my camera slipped together. No, it's just because I've got. I know what happened. My camera had slipped, but my desk had also been moved as well. So, and that's quite important when it comes to doing things. I forgot I'd slid my desk back. That doesn't help, does it? Right, wheel arch. Wheel arch. That's probably been like that since Christmas, you know. So it's a twofold thing. It both serves as a function to essentially extend the underside of the desk. Where are those bits? There. And it gives me a way to clear off certain parts of the desk as well. This is going to be difficult, but it will fit in. There we go. So it is possible to go backwards on that one if you missed it in the first place. So that's what you should be up to. More details to the kit and then build the custom base. That's what I'm finding most fun about the Bear at the moment, I've got to say, is the fact that it's pretty much all custom. See, that doesn't look straight for some reason, and I don't understand why. Is that because that didn't go in right? Is that because that didn't go in right? And is his straight? No, so he is kind of turning the bike and leaning it so the front wheel is supposed to be in that angle. Nice thing to double check. That's one, yeah. So that's what I'm going to be looking forward to with the Bear as well. That's why it's got its extra little bits of gubbins on its base. I mean, there's so many projects I've got reasonably to hand. It's stupid. So let's move on so we can get 2 chaplains like this and I can do them as a single project and I can put them away. That'll be good, won't it? Yay, I can't finish things. I need to get things finished. So we've got the bodies together. So we're now moving on. We're moving on to the next page. So if there's anything on there that you've not seen, then not more. Good morning, Sindri. Oh, yes, good morning. Is it still morning? Oh, sorry, good afternoon. About 67 seconds or something. For me, anyway. So now we have bike base, bike body. Number 2A is get number 10. Right, it's going to make us put 10 on, then 12 on, then 11 on. And 10 and 11 are both the exhaust. Now, I remember these from last time. These you can fuck up, by the way. Much more organized than you. This is coming from familiarity rather than organization. That's what this is coming from. I had a test build. I realized that you can seriously mess things up or fuck things up if you wish on this model, and this is one of the parts. So these engine pieces can be lined up wrong, as I have found out. So I'm going to be paying quite a bit of attention to not do that this time if I can. I fixed it, but it required me to pull the model apart again. So start with one engine, which is number 10. Clip it out. Do your cleanup that you wish to do. Everybody has different levels of cleanup. And some people would have already had this in hot soapy water and had it scrubbed before they even thought about doing any of this. I've just pulled out the wrapper and started putting it together. Careful if you're using an actual sharp blade to do this rather than like a dull mold line remover or something that won't slice through your thumb if you're an idiot. Noted that you are watching an idiot on at this moment in time who may slice through his thumb, and I believe doing that would mean that I have to end the stream. So if that happens, I'm sorry, but I'm going to try not to. I'm not sure if they'll classify that as intentional violence or just the fact that I'm a bloody idiot. And it all depends how much, if we actually do it and how deep. But be careful if you're going to do that. Take it from experience, it fucking hurts. Anyway, right, let us line this thing up. So this is supposed to go. Where's this supposed to go? That looks like it's got a circular thing there, and it's supposed to go on that clip there, which is supposed to go in that smaller square section in that square section. Don't worry, I didn't take it as a dig. I did not take it as a dig. I'm just not. In fact, in fairness, my desk does look more organized than usual, but that's only because I've had to clear crap out of the way to be able to cut up things to make vlogs. If you would have come along here Sunday night, it wouldn't have looked anything this clear. It's only because certain things require me to actually clear crap up sometimes. And my newish project, it just happens to be one of them. I'm not going to mention what under the desk looks like. Under the desk looks like somebody just left a grenade. I couldn't get you my Space Marine army. You could ask me for most of my models, and I can't get access to my Space Marine army. Yet they're less than a foot away from me. At the moment, there's Tyranids and paints and foam core and scenery bits and a box with a bear in it and a box with 38 little thingies, 35 little thingies in it, and a base that's kind of propped up for them all to go on. That I've not finished planning yet. Anyway, enough about my pile of shame and 1,000,000,006 projects that I need to carry on with. Let's put the other engine side on, even though he's not telling us to, because, well, I'm clever like that and I do things in my own way. Do not repeat everything I do, please, because it may make things difficult for you in your future life of putting this model together. However, it just makes sense to me to put the two engine things on and then put the thing on. I think I did the same thing last time as well. I just lost track of how I was supposed to be doing it and then ended up, and that's how I ended up with an engine halfway up here rather than level like those now. Yep. See, luckily, as I said, I've had practice of assembling one, and even with this one, I'm struggling. And it wasn't that long ago I had to put that one together. So, notice number 12. So I've gone 10, 11 rather than 10, 12, 11. I've gone 10, 11, 12 because I can count. I've got to find 12 now. But the bleeding hell does 12? Oh, it's his foot panel thing. It's going to be that, isn't it? Let's check. Turn it over, check the number 12. I don't know why I'm checking the number. That was supposed to be 4 and it was 7. 7's the correct number. The listing in here of 4 was the wrong one. Because you don't get 2 4s. You get a 4 and a 7, you dozy. Printing errors, you can't really do much about it once it's sent, can you? Better people in your testing department, your checking departments, and your... I can't remember what it's called, and there's an anagram for it or something like that. And it's for the people who check the quality of stuff before it goes out, and I can't remember the name of it. And I should remember the name of it. Well, in this case, it's going to be quite easy. Because the only thing going on his base other than this will be a very light ground covering just to stop it looking like that. So it'll put up pretty easily to the diorama base that is on. But yes, that is a good piece of advice from Sindri. If you're going to do this thing and you realize it's on its little, where is it? It's on that, which is a separate piece that you don't have to glue direct onto this. So you can apply all your crap to this first and then put that on top with him on it, and then ta-da, it's all done, rather than gluing that down and putting him on it and then realizing that you want something underneath it. He does have space to do stuff, so you can raise up a little bit higher if you wanted to put a couple of layers of caulk or something like that underneath. and then just to raise it up and give it all a texture. In fact, I might do that with this one. Go on, Cinder, you've convinced me. I'm going to put a piece of cork on this one. I need to be able to separate them anyway. So I might put one in a jungly type area so I can throw them against the Tyranids because that's what they're in, and then put one in a streety area. But I guess I tricked. So where are we up to? Right, I've just done 12, which is the foot plates where he's going to park his feet and when he's supposed to be driving and going vroom, vroom, vroom. Mad priest with a big thing to club you with. That sounds wrong. Never mind, move on. We need 13 and 14, and that's the torso. So that's going to be the front, because he doesn't have his arm waving about on his front, which is right near his waving about thing, and that's 14. And 13 is the other half of his torso, which is on the other side. See, I'm rather glad I don't have OCD, because if I had OCD with the amount of stuff that I've got at the moment, I don't think I'd be able to set up a camera for a start because I'm too busy doing any other stuff. And with the projects I've started, I think I've worked myself into an early grave on that one. Because I've started something that is going to be so much more work than I'm even thinking I've got in my head, and my head is already thinking it's going to be a lot of work. So I dread to actually think how much work this is going to be. I've not even made a first building yet. I've not even designed my first, how I actually want the village to look. Never mind where I want all the 35 characters to stand so I can make them removable on bases. I just know it's going to be pretty much from the first layer. So I'll find out who's standing on the first layer first, haven't I? I've got a lot of planning to do. A lot of I've done something stupid again. I've started a stupid big project. But enough of that. We need to get them together. So 13 and 14 will get you half a dummy with an arm. So what was that? I thought checklist for each project. See, that sounds very organized and professionalist. That does Twisted. I know it's not like we've known each other for decades, but I believe you've known or at least spoke to me enough to realize that I don't think that would work for me. I just think I'll lose things that way. I mean, believe it or not, I can probably, if forced to, pull all my stuff out of my Space Marine box and then tell you if a model's missing. And I don't have it written down. Every list that I write down has stuff missing. But if I pull them all out, I can tell you if something's missing and then probably go find it as well. Yeah, I can understand why a jeweler's school would teach you that with ridiculously fiddly things, and you need clear area. But I'm dealing with plastic 32mm models most of the time, and they're reasonably easy to keep track of, including spare parts. Well, not spare parts, but parts. So now we've took 13 and 14 and we stuck them together, and we've now stuck them onto the bike part where his hips are, using the little peg that was on the bottom. Now it doesn't want me to be legless anymore. So it wants us to do 17 and 18, and then 15 and 16, and then 19. Right. I may not be OCD, but I can count in looking order. So I'm not doing 4. I'm going 5, 4, a 5A, 4-ish, and then 5B. because I want to go 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Call me a facetious twat if you wish, but I'm going in order. They can do whatever they yeah. So 15, 16 first. I'm doing his other leg because it's the right order to do it in. I don't care what they've written in the magazine. You can go Goff and the magazine because the magazine can't count, and I don't trust a simple thing where they've asked a machine to count and it can't. Should not be trusted. And if they've done it that convoluted way on purpose, then they can go fuck themselves. I'm smart enough to figure it out. I saw past your ruse. Oh, we've got a little nodule bit on the back of his shin plate. I'm guessing we're going to need to put glue on that then. Right. Yeah, because that's going to line up to the top of there, and then this bottom bit's going to go over his shoe. As I said, always dry fit before you put glue. Don't be like this idiot who's just done it without. Right, so that's that leg. Now this leg actually stands on the platform. So I do know why they've done it the other way around. I just thought I'm being an awkward git. I need to find the other shin bit. Where is it? There it is. There's 18. Snip that off so I don't forget. And 17. 17. And 19 is going to be the handlebar. So we're going to start going back up towards the body. All right. I think the book's one of the last things to actually go on. And then you're supposed to glue them all onto the plasticky bit, which I will be doing. I'll be gluing them onto this bit, but I won't be putting them onto the... I suppose I could just glue all that on now, so when it comes... Sindri! You're getting me diverted and distracted. Yeah, I'm going to have to... Once I've done put these two legs together, I'm doing something with the base. Because Sindri's given me the idea. And I can blame Sindri because, well, Sindri's I mentioned to do something with it before you put it on the base. So, yeah, you have influenced the stream to that degree that I'm going to be sidetracked now for a second. So to do what I was thinking when Sindri was on about putting something underneath the base before you put that on, is you can get something like this, which is caulk, and then glue it on. The only thing is, though, it does change how you've got to connect it to the model afterwards. You're going to have to use super glue. So I'm going to use PVA glue because I'm going to give it a good chance to set. I don't intend to be necessarily super gluing it on today. I'm going to have to paint the caulk back first. But smear glue all over the base. Yeah. Try and make sure you get enough on. This should be, I hope, between the two. Because it's quite a rough surface on the base already. And I've got to clean the nozzle up anyway, so why not? Let's get a bit more on that. And then I want to slap that onto that. And I'm going to put a 1, 2, 3 block. I'm going to get 2 1, 2, 3 blocks. And I'm going to plop them on it to hold it down. I've just got to find somewhere to put them. I'm going to need the 1, 2, 3 blocks as well tonight. So this should hopefully dry quickly. I'm going to pop that over there. And hopefully it'll press on and dry by the time we've done that. Which do you mean my Space Marines? I'm assuming you mean Space Marines because I'm doing the Chaplain. Or do you mean that particular Chaplain? Because he's just going to be integrated into a whole, which is part of my army. Right, I don't like the fact he's making me glue this leg on. I don't want to glue this leg on yet because it's not got anything. If you're asking about the Space Marines, then it's my own faction, and depending on whether or not I'm fielding dreadnoughts or not, they will change their name from Stone Dragons to Stone Bears. As I increase the amount of bearified stuff that is going to be in this, it may become a more permanent transfer over to Stone Bears, and I've got a feeling it will do eventually. But as the bear is unfinished and unnamed, which there is still a poll up if you wish to go vote to name the bear. Depending on the name, they may even stay as Stone Dragons, but I'm tempted with Stone Bear because that is a nice big centerpiece of a model. And I could also make it Chapter Master. Interesting thoughts. So yes, glue the legs on. One is supposed to be stood on the floor, whereas one is on the footpads. Right, so yeah, regarding it being my own faction, OCD for the Codex might not be the best thing for you because my librarians aren't all blue. My librarians are pretty much the same as everybody else in the army, except with a few minor tweaks, but then they're still in the black armor that everybody else is in rather than all blue, which is what Games Workshop would like you to put all librarians in. Chaplains, although are black, that just happens to be the color of my army anyway. The main color of my army anyway, so having black armor was no problem at all. And I still paint the shoulder pads blue like the rest of the army, so librarians and chaplains don't particularly stand out. The only ones that do stand out are apothecaries, which I do paint one leg blue, one leg white, and a shoulder pad white to show that they're apothecaries. They're the only ones that get really special treatment. That's it. Even Tech Marines will not be doing red; they will be black. They may have a red symbol on them somewhere to signify the Forge World thing that they've been to, but nope, they will not be Codex compliant in that way. Good morning, good sir. Good morning. How are you this morning, Joey? I hope you're bright-eyed and all bushy-tailed, ready for what you've got ahead. Probably not knowing you probably woke up and had a giant, but that's a different matter entirely. Right, so we just put piece 19 on, which is the handlebars, which are a bit wobbly and a bit wonky and require a bit of lining up. So bear in mind that he is supposed to be turning his front wheel. So if you're thinking, why is it bent like he's turning his front wheel? That's why the handlebars are turning the front wheel. Learn to drive, you bloody idiot. Says the person who can't drive. Right. This is where we get an option. They automatically tell you to put the kick-ass, mega cool skull head that I chose last time. If you don't want to put the kick-ass, mega cool skull head like I put in last time, why not? And seeing as you don't want to, they do give you a normal sergeant's face. He is bald. Well, just a normal. You can have him helmetless. So let's put the skull helmet on. If you're not already gathered, I do want him to look different. I do want him to be thingy, but I'm sorry, the skull kick-ass helmet is far better. It's minus 20. How? Isn't that like Sam's temperature? Isn't she supposed to be the one that's coming on telling me it's minus stupid temperature and things don't work? I know you're up north and everything, but you're not supposed to be the one telling me that it's stupid temperatures like that, Joey. I mean, I expect those temperatures. I think you're a bit further north than Twisted. Sorry, I think Twisted's a bit further north than you. So I kind of expect those temperatures from him as well to a degree, but certainly not from. You're supposed to be in a slightly warmer area. They should be telling me EB's going to pop up and telling me it's snowing outside his house. Or Dorito's going to pop up and show me a picture of a snowman that he's built. The world's going crazy, I tell you. So now he's popped his head on, which was number 20. Is his other head 21? Let's find out if his other head was 21 just before we start going nuts about numbers again. Yeah, his other head was 21. So that's why we jumped ahead to 22 and 23. 22 is the stupid little spiky thing that goes on the back of him. See the little stupid spiky thing, that thing? Yeah, that's just one piece. Why they couldn't have put that as part of the helmet or part of the backpack, I don't know. But they've made it its own thing down there. So not only we've got to find the joining connection, which is stupidly small. It's not in New Orleans. Wow. That is some. Yeah. I bet these people that have shit themselves. In fact, if it's first time in 15 years, how many teenagers are walking out going, wow, this is what it is? Because if you've not seen it for 15 years, then yeah, there's a 14-year-old out there who's never seen snow. There's 15-year-olds out there who don't realize they've seen snow. Especially if they've never moved. That could be wild for them. But the first thing they did is ran out, tried to play in it, realized what fucking cold really is, and then ran back inside, putting their hands near a fire and realized it doesn't work. And then anyone who's come to visit from anywhere that's had snow before is just laughing at them. Going, yeah, you dumbass, you don't work like that. Go get some gloves. And then they'll ask them what gloves are and why you would use something for dressing up. My head works weird. Don't ask. I don't. I just let my head go off in its little tangents when it wants to, and then it comes back eventually. To be able to clip out number 23, which is the big smash you in the head thing. I'm not sure if that's supposed to work functionally as a mace or as an axe. Yeah, that's an eye-opening thing. Yeah, it's even for Louisiana to turn around and go, Arkansas, can you help? That must have been a bit of a. I'm not making that phone call. Who's making that phone call? I feel sorry for the poor guy who did. That's now we've got 23, so he's waving his stick around now. Axe, mace. sign of office. So it's going to be 24 for his other shoulder pad and then 25 for his backpack. So shoulder pads first, then backpack. Going in right number order, so I'll follow it for now. I don't see anything going wrong. I don't see any bad signs of doing shoulder pads before a backpack. In fact, it's how I've built many, many Space Marines in the past. Many Space Marines. Yeah, anyway. Shoulder pad goes on, and it's got a very subtle divot for this one. It's more of a bump than a divot. And that goes on that side, which is the both shoulder pads on. No, I know it does look, so it looks more like that now. It looks easier to see when it's, you can see it going together and what it's going to be. So backpack, which is 25. Where's 26? Where's 26? Don't go throwing me a 26 later on, when I could be doing it now. 27 looks like a pain in the backside as it is, which is the thing on the back. I'll bring that up and show you that in a minute. That looks like a major frigging nightmare anyway. But we'll go for 25 first, which is his backpack. Now I remember 27. '27 took me about 20 minutes to figure out, oh, that's how it's supposed to go. Because I was being dumb. Let's hope I don't have a repeat of that, and we have another half an hour of me sat here just fiddling about rotating a model because I can't figure out which way around fucking goes. Also, I do apologize if my microphone picked that up, but my stomach is telling me that I should eat, apparently. It's going to have to wait because I'm in the middle of doing something. What is 26? Is 26... 26 is that bit. It's the big bit he actually stands on. Is there any reason I shouldn't put that on now? Will that interfere with... I don't think so. That's a good idea. Let's put that on there. But let's not risk it just in case those are a bit fiddly if I put it on there first. So 27. Why did I have to make that base bit 26? That's stupid. Now this bit, I say it's fiddly as friggin' hell and is a pain in the backside. So 27 is, you see here, it goes over the back of his seating area, and it's got a couple of glue points. So those are the glue points, and then it kind of slots in. Sorry, those are the glue points, and then it kind of slots in over the back. So it'll end up looking and pointing out over the back like that by the end. Problem is getting it in position in the first place, and if you get it in position, you're not necessarily going to want to move it. So if you're confident in what you're doing, and I hope I'm still on stream at the moment because I've just clicked my mouse, you can kind of, yeah, if you've done it before and you think you can do it in a boom, then go for it, and you'll end up, and it'll go in it will go in smoothly. You've just got to know where it's got to go, put the glue in right first, and then go right, get it right first. It's possible, but that's how you put that bit in. Well, it's not that they can't drive in snow, it's just that they haven't done before. They can, they just need to learn. And that's, as you rightly pointed out, it can be quite freaking scary learning how to drive in snow. Suddenly having the back end just skid out on you and you've got no idea. It's like just no response, nothing. I'm moving until something else says I stop. When no, in fact, you need to gear down and keep yourself at low revs. Not have bald spots on your tires would help, having a decent set of tires. If it's thick snow, then obviously you need something different. You need to plough the streets, and maybe you'll need some chains. But if it's just a light smattering of snow that's enough to cause your car to slip, phone people up north and ask them how they drive in snow. It sounds like an absolutely wonderful idea to me. Excellent. So when I click that button, nothing bad happens. Oh, God. That is an annoying thing, is to sometimes accidentally click something and then shit goes wrong for no reason. I just gutted. I lost a decent power supply or decent power extension due to streaming, and well, something similar happened when that went. I'm not even sure which. I don't even know if that was a stream that was numbered, to be quite honest. See, you got nice. You're fine, twisted, and Joey seems to be fine because he's just pointed out he's got loads of salt in his state. So, he's around where he is. So that's easy enough. He's quite happy. Does that mean you're going to risk taking your Vespa out on it again? That little hairdryer, and see if you can actually get that to drive on something other than the carpet in your living room. Wuss. Get a real bike. Sorry, Joey, but yeah, get a real bike, mate. 28 is supposed to go on. I'm just supposed to just glue that onto that little bit. Right, okay. So there's a little skull there. There's nothing to help you tell you where you've just got to glue it on the back of that little bit there. Oh, right. You're supposed to make it look like it's hanging from. So you've got to do all the lining up from this. And there is a little hook on this, if I can, which I've not managed to do on that one. I've just stuck it on the side because it looks like I've trimmed the thing off in the first place. So there is a little hook thing that you can possibly line it up with to get it to hang from a trophy. I just glued the other one to the side of his fucking bike. It was easier. And why wouldn't he just mount it on the side of his bike? Saves him have to carry it all the time and carry more ammo then. But it wants you. So for sake of messing it up so you don't have to, I'm going to try and get it to line up with that thing so it looks like it's hanging off like they wish it to be. Not quite the same, but in that vein. So I'm going to leave it like that because it does make him slightly different from that one. Any slight variations so we can tell them apart is always good in case I feel them both together. That was 28 and that was 30. I've got a feeling that goes on the end of a handlebar. So I'm looking for end of handlebars at the moment. See if I missed on it. No. Flip it over. Oh, there we go. It tells us to put the other side on, which I've already done. Again, I'm getting used to these now. Because we're at issue 20. So I'll put the other side on. But as I thought, 29, yes, is the end and the cap for this side of the handlebars. Cargill Salt Mine Tour. Surely anyone in the chat, I'm not stopping anyone from going to watch that. It's probably bigger than the one of mine I'm more used to. I'm not going to deny. It's a trait. Certain places. But I've been in mines where it's completely pitch black and you can't see jack diddly shit in front of you because you just go, right, don't move. We're going to turn the lights out because if you move, you got literally you can't see a damn thing. It's fun. It is fun. Okay, next, he's going to want us to put the book together. So it's these two pieces. We've got to get 33 and 32. We've got to put them together first and then put them on top of the bike and then put him onto. It tells you to put that onto the base and then put him onto that, but I'm going to put him onto that and then see how my base is doing. Well, I'll see how my base is doing probably towards the end because it's going to require some super glue to get him to stay on it. Once he's on it, I can kind of part this one up for a while because I've got another one to paint. And as I'm not working on the road side of the faction necessarily at the moment, I don't have to rush with it. So when you're lining the book up, make sure you get the spines together so that it doesn't look stupidly odd by having half spine on there and half spine on there. I mean, obviously on tours, I'm guessing there's only so far they'll let you go down. There's always a danger in a mine regardless, but they're not going to let you go into the places where stuff's still shifting and moving and maneuvering, I'm assuming. Now, I've seen some documentaries on salt mines, and some of them just look stupid. It's like, this isn't a mine. You can fit a city in here. If it weren't for the fact that everyone would choke to death on the bloody salt, you could fit a city in it. And they are particularly, yeah. And I don't know if that's might even be the one that you're on about, Joey. But it was stupid. You couldn't. It's not a mind thinking Disney dwarves. Haha, walk down, dig. No. What are you driving? We've got Humvees down here. Why? Because we need to get around quick, and it's 6 miles to the other end of that bit. What do you mean the other end of this bit? So we're only in one cavern. Let's go. And yeah, when he gets to that big, I don't think it's standard mining anymore. I think that should be like strip mining by that point. So that's all the pieces used apart from the other head. So now for let's glue him onto this bit. So he's got somewhere to be and not break his leg off. And then we'll go through the painting section together. Oh, that'll be fun. So 26 is making me go all the way back now to 26, which is irking me. Fucking there we go. Now the front wheel is on the raised up bit. So the front wheel is the one that gets glued for now. Well, I suppose both bits can get glued because it's not like it's going to react to anything else in there at the moment. And then you get the little pegs, and you try as you bloody damned to get them lined up and pressed in. Remembering that it's at an angle and his foot's supposed to be on the floor as well, and it's supposed to be stood like so. Yeah, it's just ridiculous, isn't it? It's the size and scale. So at that point, it's not standard mining as most people would know it is, more strip mining. Just underground. So there we have. If you've not glued him onto the big black base, he should look something like this at this moment in time. If you have glued him onto the big black base, he will look something like this at this moment in time, and we'll look even closer to this in a minute when you've done things to him from these pages, because this is going to tell you to get a bad and black and just paint the entire bleeding thing, all of it, top to bottom, paint black. Once you paint it black, you come through with the lead belcher and any of the metal bits, so the exhausts, the ports on the guns that are here, and some of the other little metal coggy sprue bits and around the wheels also be painted. Oh, actually, it's not putted. It's not glued it in to that. Even though it. Okay. So it's told you don't glue it into that, so you can get to its undercrackers, so to speak. Can make sense. So continuing with lead belcher, chains, backpack parts, face bits, pretty much all the other bits that you've done lead belcher on the other Marines, the bits around the mast, bits around the joints, all those bits, paint them again, lead belcher. Now we come back in with gold, and this one's a lot more ornate. So Retributor arm will be used on the little skull symbol on the side of the bike. And probably a lot more of the skull symbols that are on. Yeah, see the Arcanum, all his trim, including the extra bits around his legs and around his wrists. Basically, this one's almost as bad as painting a Chaos Space Marine. He's got a gold bit in his chest there, his iron halo. They've even painted the skull on the back of his bike gold there, as they've kindly hidden, as well as both skulls on the ends of his handlebars. There is lots. Oh, and the little bottom bit. That tiny little bit there. Yeah, that's been gold as well. Now it's going to run through the other colours. Okay, so Reichland Flesh again for any pages and the little piece of paper off the purity seals. So these bits and the pages of the book. Mephiston red for the bolters and for the haft of his Crozius. And eyes, apparently. Mephiston, Screamer pink for the tops of the purity seals, and for the book, it has painted the little things on the side, the little corner pieces on the book gold as well, so bear that in mind. A single shoulder pad McCragg blue to represent that he is an ultramarine, and then what looks to be bookmark has been done in burgundy, the stupidly difficult one to say, that one. Black nah, but yeah, it's been done like that. Oh, how could I forget? Because he's got a skull helmet, of course, you have to paint that Wraithbone. So that's what we're going back into. So there's no washes, really. You see, one of the skulls he had back there looked golden. Painted Wraithbone, again, for the one on the back there, he's saying it's done. Particular areas of overlap, so silver and red, and making sure you're getting areas underneath. So it's basically clean up your model is what they're saying to do. Check for various things like charms and stuff that you want to pick up. But by the end of it, it should look something like this model. Yours should. Mine probably won't look. Mine won't look too dissimilar, to be quite honest. But that's not a bad guide for me to do for mine. But yeah, I'm going about black differently. They've just done it as the flat colour at the moment. So that's all the building stuff done. Wow, he took a while. Welcome back, Sindri. Welcome back. We've just got to the finish. We've finished building. So we now have a Chaplain on a bike, which is not on the black base yet because the cork's still drying. But for the sake of purposes of having a Chaplain on a bike that is on a base, ta-da! I have one available. So I've now got another project, which is the other Chaplain going on the road. Literally, because that's what it's going to be. So the next part of the magazine is to roll the dice, and Chaplains are battle preachers whose fiery invective inspires the Space Marines to greater acts of valor. I wish they'd use normal words. Preferring to fight in brutal close combat, these zealous warriors are an example to their allies and a terror to their enemies. Outside of battle, chaplains look after the spiritual welfare of their brothers. So, priests with big hammers. So, to find a name for him and what type of Space Marine he is, roll on the table. If you get 1 or 2, this chaplain is heavily involved in recruiting new Space Marines and has keen eye for potential. 3 or 4, this chaplain knows many ancient battle songs and litanies to inspire his allies. And 5 or 6, the chaplain records the deeds of his brethren in the great book he keeps with him at all times. So, yeah, I'm very, very diligent priesty dude. Well, I did because I can get under there with airbrush. So when I paint him, I'm just going to airbrush underneath because, well, I'm lazy and I can. But with him, I've already done. He was done ages ago. He was a Secret Santa present, so he's been done for a month. He's been sat there waiting for this moment so I can go, right, yeah. So I can do the 1-2 thing. And I have to worry about the fact that I'm not always going to be looking to do that one at the moment. You'd kind of help me out. Right. As I was going through, so now we've got to put that our chaplains have start raving nutter and likes to scream at things a lot. His stat line's not that bad. He's a movement 12, which is quite handy. Toughness 5, so he's on par with Terminators and Gravis, but he's moving a hell of a lot faster. Save 3+, and then he's got 4+ invul as well, which is nice. 5 wounds, so he's still getting taken out by something like D6 if you are lucky enough. 5+ leadership and 1 objective control, but you're going to be partnering with probably Outriders, so that should bump up his objective control, and they have Astartes chainsaws anyway. And this is a combat patrol data sheet, so you're not putting him with Outriders. In games where you're using Space Marine Combat Patrol, Strike Force Octavius, you may, before selecting an enhancement, remove the librarian from your army and replace him with a chaplain on a bike. Okay, so when you're picking that bit for Combat Patrol, take the librarian out, put him in. Yeah, nice swap. Good movement. Absorb a bolt pistol for a bit of ranged weapon is not bad as a pistol. Strength 5, -1 AP and 2 damage at an 18-inch range. Just 1 attack, but he hits on a 3+. So that's not too bad. And then twin bolt rifle. Twin linked, so you get to reroll the wounds. Is it wounds or the hits? I can never remember. It is such a great looking model. I'm glad I've got 2 of them. Still not as good as the Forward Librarian, in my opinion, but they're both good models in fairness. So yeah, twin bolt rifle, 24-inch range, 2 attacks, standard bolt rifle profile. You find it on. If you get a codex, you'll find it relatively common. In melee, though, because that's where he likes things, he likes to beat things in the head. It's 5 attacks, hits on a 2, strength 6, -1 AP, which is a little disappointing, I've got to say, but 2 damage a shot. So yeah, you might be able to get a couple of Space Marines with a few bad failed saves, but yeah, it does give him a special rule here, but I think I'm not sure of these other ones. This might be just his because he's on the bike. So he gets a Catechism of Fire. Each time this model's unit is selected to shoot, you can select one enemy unit within 12 inches of and visible to this model. Until the end of the phase, ranged weapons equipped by models in this unit have the devastating wounds ability when targeting the enemy. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that is very nice. So you can stick devastating wounds and crap load of twin bolt rifles and steam them around the board. Oh, that's handy. That is very useful. That is very useful. And here it gives you a little indication of how it expects to use it. And so it's Crozius. That's its melee weapon, pointing out where its twin bolt rifles are, giving you small advantages and disadvantages in the combat patrol scenario. So yes, he has speed. He can get 12 inches is a long distance to move, especially on small, almost 1 foot by 2 foot boards, near enough. He's getting right across there. He is going to have to move independently because you don't have any units with him coming with this. There are no bite units, no outriders for him to join to bulk out and make more effective. So that's where also where the lack of synergy comes in, because there are no outriders and everything's an infantry unit. There is nothing for him to join. He's going to get singled out if possible. He doesn't have lone operative rules. He doesn't have certain other key rules that would help him stay alive. And with him being faster than everything else, he's going to be closer than everyone else. So it's going to be difficult. I do also wish the Crozius was a bit more dynamic. The Terminator one was okay because you got a choice of 2 different heads. I do have the other head somewhere around, so I may change one of these over, which is why I'm leaving this one. He's going to remain like this in case inspiration strikes. Or actually find the damn bit in the first place, because I might have lost it. This is a very small place, and it's only a very small bit, but probably in that tub up there, actually. If I can find it, I may swap the heads over. Well, looking at it, I think you're supposed to use it more of an axe rather than slapping them with the flat side. I think you're supposed to use it in more of an axe way and slap them and like try and gouge them open with the wings, which sounds like a lot more fun. So here we have, Twin Linked is re-rolling wounds. Okay, so in this case, he has to roll wounds against his psychophage. Catechism of Fire is teaching that you can, on a 6, when you're rolling, causing a critical wound. In fact, use it on this side because it's easy to see. Then you'll automatically get through the damage because there are no saves unless you have special rules against critical wounds. So it's going back through the Twin Linked and the critical rule, or the debits to make devastating wounds work, and how that would work out. It did cover them in the last issues. Go on, people, keep up. We've got to keep up. So he's going to give us another scenario. Again, we're using up 8 pieces of terrain and a singular map. So it's 4x4 on them strange rectangle squares. You have the L-shaped setup, so they are providing cover. So the 2 arrows in the center of pointing at each other, and then the 2 arrows from the side of pointing at the opposing one. So it's in a zigzag, but all coming towards the center, and then the other pieces are put in the alternate spaces to cover the center line. Space Marines get the top 2 corners opposite from 3 and 1, and Tyranids get the bottom corners opposite from 3 and 1, 2 being in the centre. So what we're getting to use with the Space Marines: Captain in Terminator armour, Chaplain on bike, 5 Infernus Marines. Wing Prime, 20 Termagants, 3 Von Ryan's Leapers, and 5 Barb Gaunts for the Tyranids. Usual objective rules apply. 5 points for having 1, 5 points for having more than your opponent, and 5 points for having 2. So maximum 15 per round. Easy enough to score if you can keep hold of them too. Favouring the Tyranids on this one again, numbers. But the Space Marines go first. And the way they play it out, once they've deployed, by the looks of it, they've put all the Termagants down here, along with Barb Gaunts in the middle, and the Wing Prime behind it, and then the Von Ryan's Leapers over here to the side. We start with the Captain behind the Infernus Marines and a Chaplain with a straight line through so he can drive past all the terrain. So in this case, they move the Captain across to go try and claim Objective 1. The Infernus Marines come down partially into cover, but trying to claim Objective 2. And the Chaplain, as you would expect, straight the way down and right in the face of the Von Ryan's Leapers before they can do anything. He's well within charging distance there. He wouldn't have needed to advance either. Shooting phase will occur. The Infernus Marines quite easily take out just over half of the 1 unit of Termagants, and the Chaplain takes out a single Von Ryan's Leaper. And then the Chaplain's within range to charge. He does so and finishes off the Von Ryan's Leapers, or will probably leave him with a wound or 2 if he doesn't. He's got a good chance against them. He'll then expect you to play through yourself after you've done what it expects you to do for the Tyranid turn. Now, for some reason, I don't know why it's done that. So maybe because he's no point targeting. So in this turn, the Wing Prime has moved to intercept the Infernus Marines. The untouched Termagants unit has headed up towards the Captain of Terminator armor, and the partial Termagant unit with only 4 left has moved up behind the Wing Prime. Barb Gaunts have stayed still, probably because of the blast word and the heavy word, just to make sure they hit. So in the shooting phase, the Gaunts shoot the Terminator Captain, do nothing to him. Light fire against a toughness 5 model with a 2+ save. Chance you gotta be unlucky. Oh yes, I expect him. We'll come to what I expect him to be slapping about with that thing in a minute. So the Barb Gaunts and the Termagants shoot into the Infernus Marines to kill 1 off, and then the Wing Prime is going to charge and kill off another 2, as they say, but will take damage in the meantime. Then it wants you to play it out yourself to see who wins and just carry on through the turns. From there, it's going to be the Space Marines' turn next, and with him being locked in close combat with them, there's a good chance that he's going to drive up here, he's going to shoot them, and then charge them. Probably kill them all. At least these in close combat. Or shoot them and charge them, just because they're the bigger danger and threat. He's doing the same here. So they may lose objective 2, or they may just hold objectives 1 and 3 and force the Tyranid to come to them, knowing that they've not got enough firepower to take out the 2 characters. Depends on how each player plays it. See, it does like showing off the Ultramarines a lot, doesn't it? So now let's see what's coming after, because we know next week we're getting the Eldar Farsi. That's the first Eldar unit. But after that, we will be getting Avalon Sunset. Ooh, a yellow. A yellow. I'm going to have another yellow. I'm going to have a Citadel yellow. I've got a Pro Acryl yellow. I prefer that one. I've not even tried that one. I prefer the Pro Acryl yellow. And we're getting a Catachan Flesh as well as a base colour. We seem to, when we're getting bases, we don't seem to get any layers or anything decent for paint wise. So 2 new paints. Play Combat Patrol and Eldari Warhost. So next week it'll cover the Farseer, the Eldari, and the Immaterium. So I don't know if we're going to be getting a new scenario in that one, a new mission. Maybe not. So it might be that one. I believe we will in issue 22, because by that point we've got a lot of colours to hopefully finish off painting so both armies look decent enough. And then wow, my throat is just really hitting something. So yeah, you'll have both combat patrols for the Tyranids and the Space Marines by then, with a few additional changes like the Parasite of Martrax and the Chaplain on the back that you can swap in and out of the standard ones. But from now on, it's going to be Eldar, I believe. Eldar and Chaos, maybe? I'm not sure. But we'll continue. We will continue to get them as long as I can, and they come into the shop. And I will go through the magazine just like I have every time we get it, so you'll have to see it first time with me. That being said, my throat feels like it really needs me to stop talking, but to do that means I've got to close the stream and go side out. So thank you everybody for joining me. Sindri, thank you for the idea. It is still going ahead with my plan, because although I'll be able to spray the underside of that, I'm going to be able to paint that in a different way. So I'm going to, just before I finish, because it should be doable even while it's still wet, so we can get the rough idea. Peel off the cork from underneath or from around the edges. It might be a bit rough, but you can always clean it up with a knife later. But when you put him on there afterwards, it will give him an actual textured base and something that looks a little bit better than just the flat base that he comes on. But that's the idea. It's not glued down completely yet, but it's glued down enough so it don't fall anywhere and break. So I'm going to end this and wrap this up now, because it's been an hour and a half and my throat feels like this Howard desert. Definitely with some of that snow or something with moisture. So thank you everybody for coming to see me today. If you've watched this in the future, if you've liked what you've seen, if you want to listen to me waffle on again, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment, join the Discord. Yeah, all the stuff that goes on through YouTube, which you all get told on every video that you watch. So I think you know what to do by now.